I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Take my hand, and we don't need to do the things we don't want to do.
Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG Ultragear Gaming Monitor.
I never want to make compromises when I play. I need every FPS I can take to perform at my peak. For myself, for my team, as well as for my viewers. Streaming always used to present me with a choice, either FPS or stream quality. I no longer have to make that decision thanks to AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors. Now my viewers get to see my gameplay smoothly. Ever since joining the team in 2018, AMD's partnership with Fnatic has given us the latest computer tech to help our Ryzen is now the pinnacle of multi-threaded processor performance, and it's a big step up from everything else I've used before. AMD have listened to our feedback to make sure they make the best products possible so that we can simultaneously play as well as stream at the best setting. That's why I use AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series powered by JBL Quantum Gaming Headsets and AMD. I'm CA, your host and co-caster for the day, joined with Rex Streams, and today we're bringing to you GodParticles versus the RAD Syndicate. The RAD Syndicate who just got to this stage after pulling through a huge win yesterday. So at this point, it's really close. We are in the second round of the lower bracket semifinals. And having said that, let's take a quick look at what we have to offer for in terms of maps, because it is the best of GodParticles' choice, but the other two are Rat Syndicate's choice.
Yep, so Ascent, so since RAD Syndicate won the first toss, it's no surprise that they leaned towards the Ascent pick. We have seen them play Ascent very often throughout this tournament. That's like the staple RAD Syndicate pick. Their second favorite map in the series has obviously been Haven, so coming into that, it's no surprise that they pick the Haven map. And talking about the bind pick coming from GodParticles, we saw them play this against God Squad as well, where they lost 2-0, but they do like to play bind, so nothing too surprising here. Still, the staple picks coming out for both sides. The first map at our hand will be Ascent, where RAD Syndicate will begin things on the attacking side while God's Particles will be defending. We saw this really interesting thing coming out from RAD Syndicate on Ascent yesterday, because usually we see Badman running the Sage on Ascent. And so that's his main role on all maps. On Ascent, they like him on the Sage role. But yesterday against Atmosphere, they went off the Sage, put him on the Omen, and then they got the Cypher play in, and they swapped those roles around a bit. So it's interesting that they went in for that change. Not something we see from them coming in too often. It's gonna be interesting if that was just one pick to just throw Atmosphere off and throw something interesting coming at them, or is it something that they've changed, like adapting to putting Badman on a different role, or Ray as we now know him on a different role, because now Sage is heavily nerfed and no longer people don't believe that she is a staple pick coming into a lineup. So that play will be coming in for us. So it will be really interesting to see that. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see Paradox on the Jet as usual, because you know what he can do with those Jet blades and all. So now without any further ado, let's head right into the game. Taking a quick look at the agent selection, we are going to see a Sageless combination Badman again on the Omen. So that's one adaptation they've made on their Ascent picks. The rest of the lineup being the same as yesterday. Deoxys sticking to his Stovas, ZBDF on the Cypher, Master not changing, not budging from his race pick at all. And yeah, pretty common all around. On the other hand, we see Knight Rider back in action for his team. This last map against the GodParticles, they weren't able to use him due to certain reasons that we're not aware of. And off the bat, we will be seeing an A hit coming in from the RAD Syndicate, because that's exactly where we see 4 members of their team, and a B stack has come in for GodParticles as well. That's given them information that this is not a B hit. Paradox though is going to go down in the early moments of the round. That's going to be extremely huge for this. This is now baited up the rotations towards the A side, because they now know that there's no one across the B side. So the hit is coming towards the A side. There comes the execute. Master throws in the nade. In the meantime, Shivy is going to get 1 kill through his tripwires, if I'm not wrong, and the hit has come to the side. They have made their way on the side where Shivy is still there. Deoxys and Master are going to get 1 each. The Phoenix though does deal a lot of damage. Look at the HP on the RAD Syndicate side. They're all extremely low. None of them have full HP. The retake has come from Knight Rider with a slow up. Master in the meantime is going to get 1. It will be traded out by Ember. Ember gets a 1. Leaves it all on Deoxys. Deoxys though sitting close, this under heaven position. Does have a recon, 29 HP. Knight Rider does spot him out. Knight Rider dies, first execute, and there's the shot from him. Pulls out the 1v2 HP from the under heaven's position. Beautiful shot connecting onto the Phoenix.
Deoxys did this yesterday as well, though you're not able to clutch through the win. Yesterday, but he got 4 kills in the pistol round. Now with 3, gets the win instead of his 4th from yesterday. Absolutely clutch. Deoxys just sort of ramping up as we get to the later stages in the tournament. So huge for his team. It's so nice to see the consistency coming out from him. And right here, just as you said, with 29 HP, clutches out the last 2 kills, getting perfect lineups onto them. Now, RAD Syndicate with the point lead, even though Paradox went down first, they're gonna try to do something similar as last time. Three man going down mid to A. They are going to get spotted out by MBCS right about now. Ray takes him down. It's gonna be Paradox now moving in, getting Logista for their 2-man advantage, 3-man advantage as Ray takes another 4-man advantage as Deoxys gets Shivy, and Ray's just gonna finish it right up, getting Knight Rider. And even though this was the eco round for GodParticles, and it's very early to say anything whatsoever regarding both teams, I do think RAD just sort of looking a bit better in their first map than they did yesterday. Yesterday we were seeing Paradox having a slightly off day perhaps. Today he seems just the usual Paradox we expect.
Yep, this round was really interesting for me coming out from Paradox because he opts in for the Spectre, not something we see from him usually. He likes to use the Ghost on Ascent on the anti-eco rounds to pull out the Operator as soon as he can. So it's interesting to see why they haven't chosen for that, and Paradox sticks with the Spectre for this round around and not going in for the early round Operator pick that we see coming from him. Smoke comes in towards A-Shot and allow Para to hold, this mid region and lurk in towards this lower mid area, towards mid bottom as he likes to do. And Master in the meantime is going to get his kill onto Ember. That's going to be the mana roundage coming out for RAD Syndicate in the first buy round. And because of that one kill that's come through, they have abandoned the B side completely, and that's going to allow Paradox to do Paradox things, and he can just lurk up. Knight Rider though does expect this, will be walking right into the smoke, and he's taken down by Paradox. Paradox is able to retrieve his Phantom. The B side is currently empty. The rotations are coming through for that, but it's going to be a long while away. Paradox definitely hears this rotation coming in from the Cypher, is obviously expecting it. Holding this angle on the back of the smoke. Shivy gets 1 and Logista gets ZBDF. It's a 2v3 situation. Paradox and Master remain. The spike is in their position. In the meantime, Paradox is going to get 1 kill, down to 10 HP. The lack of the Sage means no healing for him. Throws in the smokes, trying to buy some more time, finds his angle to peek through, gets his third. Logista in the meantime is going to get his third as well. That Masters now knows where Logista exactly is, will be able to get the spike down in the meantime. And there comes the paranoia from Logista trying to aggress on the spike plant position. Does Master know that he's right behind him? I don't think Master is aware of Logista's position. Logista, ooh, they just meet each other. Logista, he tries his level best, but Master is gonna prove faster. And he gets the kill.
Master with some insane instincts right there. He was turned towards the wrong direction till the last moment. Just as Logista peeks, he turns around, gets a peek of him, and then is able to win their 1v1 duel. Getting the round win for RAD Syndicate, making it 3-0. Getting the round win in the buy round for both teams, absolutely huge. And the fact that Paradox only bought his, didn't buy anything last round, stayed with his Scepter, means that it's likely that he's going to be moving on to the Operator just as we expected. Save eco round for the side of GodParticles, full buy for the side of RAD Syndicate. Paradox on his Operator, now that's something to be scared of. Going for mid control right here with the spike dropped all the way back. They're playing really aggressive, looking for picks, trying to make use of the Operator as much as possible. The flash goes out, Paradox gets 1, Deoxys gets 2 more, and Ray answers with another, getting his clone Logista. 5v1 for RAD Syndicate, absolutely pulling through this match, showing their dominance on their preferred map. Heaven, ZBDF finds the flank onto Shivy to make it 5-0. And just like that, 4-0, RAD Syndicate just sort of dominating. Now, next round is once again the buy round, right? For GodParticles. So if they don't manage to win next round, would you think the map is just sort of a bit gone too far for them?
Yeah, this is going to be an extremely crucial round. But as the loss bonus builds up, they might be able to fancy themselves buys coming into the later halves of this round if they're not managed to securing a round or two. Looking at the economy, we don't see much economy. We see close 1,000 credits on the members. Paradox, they're using the jet passive ability to hover around. takes this pick towards this mid angle. Takes out his knife, trying to go towards this A-shot angle with the operator. That's exactly what we're gonna see from him. He does have the blade storm though. That's gonna be really important, like for him in this round, because we know what he can do with them. We've seen him do very well with it. Sagewall in the meantime is gonna buy some time for them, as Paradox looking to just wait it out before it breaks. Does pop his ultimate. But Strider, is he aware of Paradox's positions? He hasn't reacted to the he finally realizes what could be happening. The timing, Paradox actually missing all those knives, is unable to connect the kill. There he pushes up onto Knight Rider. But Knight Rider is just faster with the operator, takes him down. Master in the meantime is going to connect onto Chevy with his showstopper, and he also gets one kill onto Logista, making it a 3v3 situation. Knight Rider still has the operator. He's just one kill away from getting his resurrection into the round, which will be really important. The door is broken down. It's going to force Master to reposition. Pops in the grenade. Ember has popped in his ultimate. Does get spotted. Will be thrown that. Master in the meantime is going to connect on the kill with his grenades, and ZBDF and Deoxys will just clean it up.
Yeah, that was huge from Master right there, right here. He's blinded, but he just starts to spam, and then the information comes in through the infability, I believe the recon bolt, and get the Omen on the other side gets spotted out, and Master is able to aim and get the kill. And then right here with the grenade gets another Arthur Knight Rider. Huge plays. But yeah, as you said, Paradox and perhaps Ray just a bit of miscoordination, because the dark cover came in just as Paradox jumped in. Perhaps just not conveyed properly to each other, but that won't matter. As we said, this was a crucial round. Paradox opening it up once again. It's going to be 6-0 to RAD Syndicate, because they have a huge eco lead going in here. Ray gets 2 with just 23 HP, will survive. Deoxys gets another. Logista going for the flank, but with just his ghost, isn't able to kill him on time. Ray gets the third for the round, makes it 6-0. Flawless round for RAD Syndicate, and it's as you mentioned, now that the loss bonus is building up in terms of credits, GodParticles will be able to afford guns properly once again. It's just a question of, can they do something with the guns, because so far they haven't been able to, they haven't looked like they're able to fight back at all. RAD Syndicate just sort of dominating.
6-0 as the RAD streak continues. Do you think we're gonna see a flawless half coming in from the RAD Syndicate? Like, are they gonna be able to continue this domination, this streak coming in from them, of this flawless executes? We do see a full buy coming in from GodParticles as well, so it's not something that we can count them out for. They are going in for what potentially looks like this aggressive aim and push, with the Phoenix lining up over there just as the Bandit gets over, and the Cypher though just setting up the tripwire, not looking to aggress. And they have 3 members stacked towards the A side, which isn't the most conventional setup coming in. We do see 2 members towards the mid and 2 A, while 1 solos out towards the B side. Mainly the Cypher being put towards the B side. So yeah, interesting to see how this swap plays out for the rest of the team. We have entered a pause due to some technical issues, if I'm not wrong. We should be back anytime, any moment now.
Should be reconnecting any moment now. And yeah, I think, to answer your question earlier, I think it's down to how RAD Syndicate played, because for RAD Syndicate, it's only going to get easier in defense. We are back now as the game resumes. For RAD Syndicate, it's only going to get easier in defense, right? So GodParticles, they're already 6 rounds down, only 6 rounds left in their defensive hard, need as many as they can get. But Paradox, always better with his operator shots, gets the opposing op player Knight Rider, instant peek, instant kill, instant dash. Now the recon drone will spot out Master. It is 4v5 against, no, 3v5 against GodParticles. RAD Syndicate just going for the hard push down A side, but Ember gets 2 just lining up perfectly for him, or ZBDF and Ray making it 3v3. Ember trying to pull something back for his team, and this will be huge, because as you mentioned, this was the buy round for GodParticles. They really need to get something done with their money. Right here, you see them getting mid control, and all members of RAD actually slowly making their way towards mid, expecting the mid control by GodParticles. Now GodParticles making their way to A side, and RAD making their way to A side. GodParticles are responding though. Master gets Logista. Ember gets his 3rd. 1 more kill and he'll be able to use his ultimate, though he won't likely need his. Hoax gets another, making it 2v1. Perhaps the first round for GodParticles, but if there was anyone who could clutch a 1v2, it would be Deoxys, so I'm not going to count him out just yet. Shockdart does hit him, making it easy for Ember to wipe it all up. Getting 4 kills this round, absolutely clutch by him.
Great 4K coming in from him, he's gonna be really happy with that. Paradox though, hit an insane shot, and this dash is good for him, but yeah,
Need a drop.
still, GodParticles do take away their first round
Need a drop.
into this half, looking to
Thanks.
see if they can continue the streak because this is indeed a defensive sided map. So the more rounds they slip away on this defensive half, they are not good. It becomes harder to come back on the attacking side.
Deep breath.
Yeah, sure.
Revealing
Folks lining
area.
in up this recon dot towards the B side will not be able to spot anyone. That should be some early round information. There is still a 3-man push towards the shot, and Paradox, just as I say that, gets one shimmy, will trade him out though. Pushing aggressively, does pop in the Cypher ultimate that's going to reveal all the positions, forcing the attackers to rotate away. Since they are now all revealed. In the meantime, the Sova has pushed up towards the B side, holding this B main angle. Does he spot Ray towards this? It's going to be really interesting to see what happens next. And he's held this aggressive angle. Ray, though, definitely checking it, will be able to clear him out. Who just said that Hooks wins that gunfight, gets peeked by ZBDF, it takes down ZBDF as well. There is one member approaching him right now, and Deoxys will be able to get him. 2v3 situation, Deoxys and Para just make that just Paradox, and Knight Rider cleans him up to 6-2.
Yeah, GodParticles absolutely huge, realizing that it's now or never. They were 6 rounds down, but able to get back-to-back rounds for themselves, both of which were buy rounds for RAD Syndicate. So even though they had a huge economy coming up to this, now they will be hurting slightly, and GodParticles just sort of building up their own economy. Huge buy hooks to get 2 kills right there. A really nice sort of setup, and just waiting in the corner, expecting the rotation after the Cypher ultimate. Now, let's take a quick look at the scoreboard, see how every single team member is doing. Ember CS with 7 kills, Deoxys with 9, Paradox and Master with 8. But if you look at the economy, it's 3 Classics and 2 Phantoms for the side of RAD Syndicate. Actually, I believe that will change. We will see buys from the side of RAD Syndicate as the game is paused right now. So some sort of technical issue just getting sorted. But full buys for GodParticles with Knight Rider on the op. Now, it's mostly Ember and Shivi showing up. Mostly Ember though, with that 4K just sort of stepping up away from the team. I want Knight Rider, who we know to be an insane player. Like he's picked up the MVP for himself in several rounds. So he needs to sort of step up if his team is going to have a chance. This will be yet another full buy round for RAD Syndicate because they do have the credits in their pocket. So if GodParticles is able to win this round, it would be absolutely huge for them, right?
Yep, definitely make it a 6-3 if this happens. Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard to see how the money is panning out for the other side. They will be able to get themselves a buy in the next round, so they do have the economy for to fancy themselves a buy in the next round because they will get the 2 round loss bonus, and RAD Syndicate get the 2 round loss bonus if they lose this one to make that 3, and they will be able to fancy themselves a buy, so not too worrying about the economic situation. Paradox still sticking with the operator coming in for him. It's gonna be really impactful coming into this next round. Master has returned, so we should be resuming the game any moment right now because I think Master was the one who had disconnected.
Yep, we should be starting back any moment right now. And the way RAD Syndicate is set up, it looks like they do prefer the A site much more than the B site. But what's really interesting is that for the side of GodParticles, it doesn't seem to be as much B side priority, recognizing probably what we recognize in terms of that RAD Syndicate prefer A side much more than B side. The Cypher utility set up towards A side, and perhaps looking for an A mid aggressive push through the defensive side with Ember and Logista. Now, both teams just sort of waiting for the reconnection to come through just here. And so, talk to me about how many rounds GodParticles need right here to sort of give themselves a chance going into the attacking side. Because I do believe RAD Syndicate will be just that little more comfortable going into the defending side. Paradox with his advantageous operator angles, especially.
Yep, definitely. Like yesterday on Ascent against Atmosphere, despite having a tied half 6-6, Atmosphere were not able to do anything once the side swap took place. They lost that map 13-8. That definitely shows you how strong we RAD Syndicate are on the defensive half because they only gave up 2 rounds throughout it. And yeah, sure, the game was a lot closer than what the scoreline represents, is what we've spoken about multiple times even yesterday. But when technically, if you are on the Ascent defensive side and you are going against a team as strong as RAD Syndicate, you want to grab as many rounds as you can on the defensive, which isn't happening right now for GodParticles. I'm not blaming them for being for being not being able to hold themselves, not being able to hold the sites, not being able to win against the RAD Syndicate, but it's just that on a team this strong on a map like this, we should be seeing a better showing from them. That if they really want to win, which is not happening right now. But when we see the side swap, it could go the other way as well. We could see a good showing coming out from GodParticles as well. This time around, we will be seeing the A execute coming from them. Batman will just throwing the smokes towards A shot and lower mid. In order to get his team control of the mid side, and then they can go in for the pinch towards the A shot side. Knight Rider, though aggressive with his operator, has locked out the Cypher over there. There comes this ultimate from Deoxys. Will not manage to get a kill on anyone. Knight Rider, Paradox in the meantime gets his second of this round with the operator. That allows them to enter towards the A side. There is a member towards the A side. Paradox is definitely aware of this, but Shivy is gonna get taken down. That just leaves Folks in a 1v5 situation. Cypher ultimate is not gonna make his task easier as he gets revealed, and now the hunt for Folks is on. And Master will secure the final kill 7-2.
Yeah, I mean, just as GodParticles start to get some semblance of hope, RAD Syndicate with a flawless round, just beating them down instantly. Paradox with a sick flick right here, gets Logista absolutely beautiful to watch, and then his team just cleaning up onto the rest. 7-2 for RAD Syndicate, and as you mentioned, right, yesterday against Atmosphere, it was even, and Atmosphere, even in the first half, looked so much more contesting than GodParticles look right now against RAD Syndicate. Constantly taking the fight to RAD Syndicate, something that we're not necessarily seeing in this game. So I do wonder, perhaps GodParticles have some sort of really creative strategies lined up for their attacking phase, because they do have the Phoenix for them. A Phoenix, not something we usually see on Ascent. We usually see the Jet or the Reyna, even the Rays in general. Phoenix is somewhat of a new pick, but it is Ember's signature pick, so to speak. So I'm just hoping that they're able to get to at least 4 or 5 rounds in the defensive side, because otherwise it will be simply too hard, irrespective of how good they are on attack. Now, RAD Syndicate going for mid control will be able to get just that. Do they go to B? They do get revealed by the recon ball. Hunter's Fury coming out. Perhaps just a second too late. The Knight Rider does get a kill onto ZBDF as he tries to escape the Hunter's Fury. Knight Rider and Hoax just holding down B side, forcing RAD Syndicate to adapt, go towards A side. Another man goes down, and right here Ray will walk into Logista. The Logista, while he does react a second late, is able to get the kill. Now, 2v5, just Paradox and Deoxys left. Both absolutely clutch players for their teams. Deoxys gets 1, 2v4. Paradox and Deoxys making the move. Deoxys gets another 2v3. Now, just Ember in this site, will he just waits. He waits for the plant and then steps out, gets the kill onto Deoxys. Stops the spike plant with just 4 seconds left. His teammates will be able to rotate and stop it. Knight Rider getting the kill onto Paradox right there, assuring that that round does go over to the side of GodParticles. Now, RAD Syndicate, they've won too many rounds for their economy to be truly hurt by that, but GodParticles desperately needed that round to make sure that they have a fighting chance in the last two.
Yeah, definitely. In this round, we see that time was of the Ascents, and they didn't have enough time to be able to clear out the whole side. There's close to 10 seconds left, and they had to stick the spike. Even in this position, Para just had 4 seconds, and that prompted them that he can't do anything but plant the spike. And since when he went in for the plant spike, he was taken down.
Oh. Now, you see Paradox getting the opening kill onto Knight Rider as they make an aggressive push down B, something they haven't done this game entirely. Hoax gets the kill onto Master, though ZBDF does answer back onto Hoax. 4v3 for RAD Syndicate. RAD Syndicate mostly annoyed as they switch it up and go for B side control. Hard push down B, getting side control and planting the spike and getting the numbers advantage on the way. Well played by RAD Syndicate. They kept going for A in the starting sides, giving them surprise factor when they do choose to go for B. Now, GodParticles trying to go for the retake. Logista has his ultimate, but it won't be of much use given the short range of the site itself. Flash does go out for Ember, not able to find anybody though. Ray gets the kill. Shivi and Logista answer back 2 kills, getting Paradox and Deoxys. And then ZBDF with the kill onto Logista will make it 1v2 with not really enough time for GodParticles for Shivi to answer back and go for the play, giving RAD Syndicate the round win, making it 8v3. Going into the final round of the attacking side for RAD Syndicate. If it becomes 9-3, I think it's too far gone. Even if it is 8-4, the advantage will lie with RAD Syndicate, but I would think GodParticles have somewhat of a chance.
Yeah, this retake, if they were able to make it, make it work, would have been extremely monumental. They are able to recover that. One Phantom can drop that over to a teammate to be able to, afford a full buy coming in. We still see Logista, due to economic constraints, will be sticking to that Spectre, while RAD Syndicate will be able to afford whatever they want and how much ever they want. This is the last round, so they should be looking to see if, like GodParticles should be looking to win this because a 9-3 scoreline. And after that, if you manage to lose the pistol round, it just becomes a lot lesser rounds for you to be able to use as that margin to block the attack. In the meantime, we see Ember pushing in with his ultimate. Will get one. There is someone behind him. Deoxys will get his number. Where in a 5v4 situation, GodParticles are in the man advantage, so they are going to be extremely happy with this. It looks like we are looking to see towards a relaxed round coming in from them because we see Ray with the spike still, just not peeking the top mid aggressively. They are now regrouping towards this A-shot area, looking to see if they can make something work with this. Still looking to take mid control. We do know how much RAD Syndicate love their mid control. Paradox though takes down Knight Rider. Knight Rider unexpecting this, doesn't expect this angle. There pops that ultimate. Does he know that someone's right below still? Doesn't check that angle. Hoax will take him down, make that a 3v2. Deoxys is gonna make that one. Count 3v3. Logista though, he's pushing them from the blank. There is no tripwire for them to stop this push. The spike will make its way towards the B side and will be planted at any moment. RAD Syndicate do have the Hunter's Fury. That'll be really important for them. ZBDF though catches Logista on the flank. That's gonna make it a 3v2 situation. That camera is really cutting off that rotation. ZBDF here's Ember on the flank. Will take down Ember as well. Make that a 1v3 situation. Just the Cypher. Shivi left alone. He has to try for this retake because it is the last round. Phantom in a 1v3 situation, no utility. His camera has been deployed towards the aim inside, so he cannot use it. Paranoid at the same perfect time, and ZBDF swings out. Make that a 9-3 half.
I mean, we did say that if it becomes 9-3 for RAD Syndicate, it's going to be like close to impossible for GodParticles to pull this through because the pistol round becomes so impactful now. If RAD Syndicate are able to pull it back, once again you see the 5 ghost setup coming in for GodParticles, same as their initial setup. Something that didn't work out for them at first because Deoxys clutched, absolutely clutched through. In terms of top fraggers though, Paradox on top, something we expect to see, something we didn't see yesterday, though he pulled that out in game 2 and then continuing his form from game 2 of yesterday to stay on top. Deoxys, I feel like he's one of the most consistent players on the RAD Syndicate from the starting of this tournament. He's been so good on the Sova, and he's always been on the Sova, making sure his signature pick gets so much value with his Hunter's Fury, with his shock darts, and with his recon drones. Now, RAD Syndicate just waiting for GodParticles to push to GodParticles, going for an aggressive push down B. Will get caught out. ZBDF gets one, almost gets Knight Rider. The Knight Rider is able to answer back. Will heal himself up. Deoxys gets one back, but Embassy answers with 2. Getting Deoxys and Ray now 2v3 in the favor of GodParticles. Grenade will go out by Master as he hears the spike getting planted. Grenade doesn't actually, gets a little bit of damage on this Knight Rider, but not actually able to kill anybody. Now, Shivi is using the camera to try and find the attackers. Uses the spike arm dart to spot out Paradox. Will get the kill, and MBCS gets his 3rd of the round, getting Master down. Getting that pistol round win for GodParticles, which, as we said, is so impactful because if they had lost that, it would mean like a very unending ditch of sorts that it would be almost impossible to pull yourself back up from.
This does look like a potential 9-5 scoreline, so it looks interesting that it is possible that we are able to see the GodParticles come back if they are able to continue this kind of play. The last one though, I don't think ZBDF was spotted on the drone when he was holding inside that position, and that's what got him that early round kill. Master that throws in that nade will manage to do a little bit of damage, no damage on the other side as they are able to avoid that nade. So yeah, Master still holding this A main icon with his classic. A lot of trust in his classic that he has. In the meantime, we see Shivi lurking towards this B main position, trying to just make some ruckus, cut off any potential rotates coming in from the defenders. Towards there comes the Sova drone, will be taken out in an instant. That's gonna leave them zero information. There comes the Phoenix back. Night Rider's gonna get one, and there comes the second kill, and there comes the kills for them. Deoxys though, he's gonna get one with the shock dart and one with his ghost. He's down to very low HP. Takes that peak, will be taken down by Ember. Make that a 1v3 situation. Just ZBDF left, holding towards this B side.
Very well played by Deoxys to get a couple kills back, but 1v3 and ZBDF just with the shorty won't be able to pull off much at all. Does spot out one person though. The spike is at A. Now Shivi, as you mentioned earlier, just holding down B, making sure there's no rotations able to come out from the side of, no aggressive rotations coming out from the side of RAD Syndicate. And ZBDF now he has to go for some sort of play. Just the shorty not worth the save. He will try to go for it, but Shivi with the gun advantage just steps out, waits to take the fight normally, wins out with his ghost. 9-5 for GodParticles as we expected. Now, this is the buy round for both teams. We will see RAD Syndicate go for the full buys right here. You see the 3 Phantoms and a Vandal and a likely Phantom. Okay, no, it's going to be a Vandal come out for Paradox. So it's going to come down to which team is able to win this round, because on the side of GodParticles is not a full buy just yet. It's 3 Phantoms and 2 Bulldogs. So they're looking, if they're able to win this round in terms of economy, they come up with a huge advantage. Night Rider with 2400 credits still left will be able to get his operator, and going 9-6 with an operator will look really good for them. So if the ball is in the court of GodParticles, can they actually score a go with it? We'll find out in a second. Now going for mid control. The spike is dropped all the way back at B side. So they're just going for picks, playing it extremely cautious right here. Now, Deoxys is standing behind this wall where Embassy is trying to peek. Paradox gets Hoax though. Now, Embassy is stepping up. Deoxys will likely step out and see him. He does just that, finds the kill onto Ember. Deoxys finds another onto Night Rider. Deoxys finds the third onto Logista, who took down Paradox. Deoxys gets his fourth, pulls out the pistol. Easy peasy, gets the 10-5 lead for RAD Syndicate in the buy round, especially clutch, giving RAD Syndicate the comfort they need to go into the next few rounds with proper buys.
That round was really important for them. Deoxys playing the really great role, gets one over here, pops out, gets two, and that's his third, and with finally with the Phantom gets his fourth. Oh, the classic, excuse me, gets his fourth.
Now, RAD Syndicate are just adopting the usual positions. Massive is slightly aggressive push, but you see the eco round come out for GodParticles. Right here, Hunter's Fury will get popped as he spots one person out on his drone, gets one kill onto Shivi, almost gets another. He did tag Night Rider right there, so who is low, and now Ray, Master, Paradox all cleaning up as they make the aggressive rotations, getting RAD Syndicate back to their 6-point lead. Deoxys finishing off what he started with the Hunter's Fury with the easy shock dart kills. And it's astonishing how many shock dart kills this guy gets. Like, honestly, like, I would be so happy if my shock darts just got damaged. Deoxys is like, I need to get a kill for myself, gets it every single time.
Great showing coming from him with the Sova. We actually seen him get the kills with the shock dart so many times, even against the match against Atmosphere. He started off on the pistol round with that double shock dart towards the stairs position, and he got a 2k. And even in one of the earlier games, he got 2k with the shock dart. Paradox though spots the player towards the mid position, loves to hold this angle with the operator. One really interesting thing about RAD Syndicate is that whenever they are playing on Ascent, right, they never smoke out the top mid position as defenders. They only smoke the A-Link's position because they know that Paradox likes to hold the operator and they like to take the gunfight towards the mid position. This time around, we are in the 3v4 situation. The RAD Syndicate are in Bandits on a disadvantage, but nothing like we can turn it around, make that a 2v4 as Ember gets his kill. Onto Deoxys, that's down to 33 HP, should be able to heal up on the black off that hot hands, and there is also Sage if the heal is required to be swapped. So They have taken control of the B side. ZBDF is going to be the first man of who gets the kills over here because he is holding towards the city position. Spams through, doesn't find anyone. That will reveal his position.
Found my wire.
And there comes the kill on him by Embers. Yes, just leaves that all on to Batman in a 1v4 situation. He gets his first kill, will he be able to get the second kill? Tech takes on Ember 265 HP. And they all know where he is, so the hunt is coming through. But as I say that, Ray is gonna get taken down by Logista.
Yeah, GodParticles pulling it back in what was a really important round for them. Because last round was their eco round, that means this round is their buy round. The fact that they will pull it back gives them a chance going into the next few rounds where they'll be able to afford full buys. Now, GodParticles are looking considerably better in attack than they did in defense, already equaling this number of rounds they won in defense in attack with 3 rounds so far. So, if there was ever any hope for GodParticles, it would be in that statistic, saying that guys, we just feel much better taking the proactive plays, making the initiative, sort of pushing in, doing just that. Now, Knight Rider with the op will get caught out with ZBDF on the op. Not something we're used to seeing, but ZBDF equipping it really well. Now, Ember does pick up the op. ZBDF, though, has pulled back, playing it really safe. Logista gets 2 on the other side of the map, though, and that's where the spike is. 3v4 in the favor of GodParticles as they make the rotation towards B-side. And now they're just, I believe, considering it. Like, should they go over to B-side? Should they not? They realize that ZBDF has the op and it would be really hard to go for that push. Now, Paradox with his ultimate will spot out multiple people right here. Not able to send out the knives fast enough as Hoax is able to put a bullet in his head, making it 4v2 in the favor of GodParticles. Shock Dart's coming out, not tagging anyone just yet. Will send out the recon bolt to try and find the opposing members. It does get destroyed, giving him partial information on where they are. Goes for the spam, not able to get any kills whatsoever. 2v4 with just the Oxys and ZBDF left. ZBDF on the op. So anything can happen, but they're running out of time now. Xeoxys does get spotted out, but pulls out the ends up going down. Hoax with the kill. Now, just ZBDF on his lonesome, I believe he will choose to save this operator. It is an expensive buy. Nobody flanking him just yet. Should be an easy task. Does spot out Hoax right there, who will put out the recon bolt and go for the flank. Will he able to spot him out? Yup, he does. Gets the kill and now just trying to escape. Will get spotted out by Logista and tries to turn and hide, but he won't be able to do that, making it 11-7 for GodParticles and potentially putting a dent in the economy of RAD Syndicate.
Yeah, and not only that, but the fact that they won't be able to carry the operator to the next round, and that's something that Para won't have access to unless and until he fully invests in it. That is going to potentially damage how, his playstyle, because we do know he does the operator, but he is still, he is great with that gun as well. This time around, we don't see them opting in for the full buy, just the mixed buy, a bit scrappy coming in from them.
Bucky. That's really interesting. What do you feel about the Bucky buy coming in for Paradox?
Well, shotguns are really overpowered in this game, though they are receiving a nerf in the next patch. Like, we don't know how people like to lean the shorties and stuff, but just as the Logista peeks out, is gonna put a bullet inside Paradox. That means no more Paradox in there. Master, though, is gonna manage to trade out Logista, make that a 4v4. Shivy is there to get out Master, that make that a 3v4 situation. GodParticles looking to get their 8th round on the board. Ray pushing towards the same in position, will not find anyone over here as the spike is making its way towards the B-side. ZPTF in the meantime, he's pushed up here. Ember's gonna get the kill onto him, make that a 2v4 situation. GodParticles making their way towards the B-side, but they still have the Deoxys to take care of the Deoxys, holding this close anchor towards the default spike down position. Gets one, will he be able to get second? Ember's there with the trade in this time around. That leaves Ray in a 1v3 position. I don't think he's gonna. He might as well try and recover one or two of the gun that is dropped by Logista towards the lower mid position. Still looking towards the garden position. Excuse me, to see what they can do with this. Ember and Co are just holding the side, not going in for the hunt, not dedicating too much manpower to get these weapons out, to get Ray out. He does only have the sheriff, so not much he can do anyways with it in the next round, as we will be seeing the full investment coming from them. So, yep, just that they are going to be happy with this 11 8th round. we could be headed to 11-9, 11-10 scoreline based on how the next few rounds pan out.
Yeah, for sure. Next round will be the buy round and the full buy round for RAD Syndicate because we did notice that since Paradox went for the Bucky with the light shield, especially, I believe he will have enough for his operator next round. If they do end up losing that round with Paradox's operator, he does pick up a gun right here, saving them some money, which will be absolutely huge. But if they do lose this round right here, making it 11-9 for GodParticles, also putting a huge dent into RAD Syndicate's economy. It should be an easy 11-10 for GodParticles, giving them a chance in the next buy round after this to even it right up. Having said that, if RAD Syndicate are able to pull back this round right here, make it 12-9 on their buy round, it would be huge. Now, yeah, we see Deoxys try to stop the push coming in from GodParticles in the replay, not able to do that. Ember with 20 kills, absolutely stepping up this round. Paradox does get revealed, does have his operator. Full buy for both teams. Huge round for both teams. Rad looking for the match point. GodParticles looking for the comeback. Already have won 5 rounds as compared to just 3 rounds in their defensive side. Much more attacking team than defensive. Logista is revealed by the drone. Deoxys finds him through the spam as Paradox looking for the blind snipes. Is not able to do that. Drone coming out from Hoax now will get destroyed and give away partial information on where the attackers could be. Hunter's Fury coming out does get Ray. Will it tag another? No, it does not. But Paradox, meanwhile, getting 2 to account for that. Just holding down this mid area so well. Not allowing GodParticles to move in any particular direction. Not allowing them to be proactive, take the initiative, do what they want to do. Now, Shivi gets a kill, uses the neural theft to reveal information, but Master gets a kill onto MBCS, giving RAD Syndicate the advantage. 3 versus 2. Can they clutch through? That Syndicate just holding down B. Showstopper does come out as the spike. It does get planted. Tags Hoax, but is not able to get the kill. Hoax really low. Just Hoax and Shivi versus Master does get the kill onto the rotating Shivi. Master gets the third. Diffuse will come through for RAD Syndicate. I believe, yes, there is enough time. Match point. An absolutely huge match point considering that both teams will have full buys next round. So both teams need that next round win. RAD Syndicate for the map win and GodParticles to keep the comeback hope alive.
But the really good round coming in from Master, gets a 3k into the round, really influence how the round panned out. Shivi though for no reason peeked right into Master. It wasn't really necessary that threw away this man advantage for them, and then Hook was already beaten down to extremely low HP, and that just one bullet and finishes him off. Master lines up this early round nade towards the A main position to fend off any early round attack coming in towards them. So yeah, that does obviously burn in some time. The drone will not be able to gather much information as there's no one holding those positions and will get taken down. Ember in the meantime gets one. There comes Deoxys. His ultimate will unable to get a kill. As I say that, he tags one member down to 80 HP. Gets peaked, gets one. Ray gets one. Logista will take it on. Ember gets his second gets one on him as well. We're back into a 2v4 situation. That's gonna get in disadvantage. Master though pushing this position is gonna get one kill. The 2v3 situation. The GodParticles are still having the man advantage over here. They will be making this way towards the A side where the spike will be coming. The BDF is making the long rotation towards from the B side towards the city position, and Master from the Master will be taken down by Ember's ultimate. It is now a 1v3 situation for that BDF, who does have the operator in his hands. Last time around, when he was in a similar situation, we saw him trying to save the operator instead of committing to the retake.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be doing just that, staying comfortably in the B side, knowing that the spike is on the A side. GodParticles not yet opting to go for the rotation, trying to find ZBDF. Shivi will do that, as he slowly moves towards B. But this should be a comfortable save for ZBDF. It will be able to hand off the operator to Paradox instead of forcing him to having to spend another 4,500 credits, which will be really important for RAD Syndicate. But GodParticles able to pull through in this round, absolutely huge. Now with a couple phantoms, no, 3 phantoms, 4 phantoms and just 1 vandal on the Hawks, they have full buys. as compared to RAD Syndicate, who will also have full buys courtesy of ZBDF saving that operator. Now, full buys for both teams, but you can see on the side of RAD Syndicate, if they're not able to execute this round properly, they will not be able to afford full buys for every single one of their members, thus giving a huge chance to GodParticles to come back. So therefore, a huge round for both teams. RAD Syndicate, though, all they need is one small mistake from GodParticles to get this map win. Now, Paradox switching up his position, instead opting to go towards the B angle to mid. On the other side, though, GodParticles going for the B push. Now, Paradox gets one, instantly dashes away. Signature Paradox move at this point. Gets himself and his team the man advantage. 5 versus 4 in the favor of the RAD Syndicate. Master slowly but surely pushing up A. Will eventually be able to go for the flag. Will GodParticles commit or will they try to rotate? They commit. They put down the dark cover as they try to make the rotation. Put down the slow to prevent any sort of move coming in. Right Rider gets a kill onto Deoxys, making it 4v4. Shivi answers back one more. ZBDF gets the return kill onto Hoax though. ZBDF gets another onto Shivi. Not able to get the third as Knight Rider takes him down. 2 versus 2 though. Paradox gets one though. Knight Rider answers back. Just Mastered versus Knight Rider. For the game or the comeback, we will see. Now, Knight Rider just 1 point away from his ultimate. If he's able to clutch through this round, will have his ultimate going through next round. Master though now peeking, will not be able to take him down. Knight Rider absolutely clutch, getting 4 kills. The man we see regularly be the MVP for his team, keeping his team alive and giving them an economy advantage going into next round, giving them like a very, very real chance of bringing it to 12-11.
Oh boy, RAD Syndicate are, the lead. Their lead is constantly slipping out of their hands. Knight Rider really good run coming in from him. He's gonna be happy with a 4K coming in from him to secure this round for his team. Does manage to keep the dreams alive. 10-12. The next 2 rounds. This round is extremely crucial because 12-11 scoreline could become really interesting to see. Knight Rider though does have the revive, which is something that RAD Syndicate did not have access to since they do not have a Sage coming into this map. So it's going to be really interesting to see that. They haven't fully invested in this round since they have only Sheriffs coming in from them. Paradox though tries to land the shot and dash away will not be able to connect. They are still holding towards with multiple members towards the side. That's exactly where we see the executors kind of come through, and that's also pulled out the rotations from the rest of the RAD Syndicate. Multiple members stacked towards the side. Ember though is gonna get his entry back. The Sage wall to block off this Guardian's position. Knight Rider will take down Paradox. In the meantime, Ember is gonna get his second onto Deoxys. Ray though doesn't land the shot, biffing a few shots through there, and there goes Ember on the hunt. Will get his third of the round. He's just ZBDF holding towards his A-shot position, and Ember will finish him off to 4K coming in from Ember. 12-11.
How GodParticles pulling it back so well. They've got 8 wins as compared to RAD Syndicate's just 3. It was 9-3 in the first half. Now it's 8-3. GodParticles, if they're able to win the next round, which will be the bye round for both teams, will be able to go to overtime with the even scoreline. Pushing back RAD Syndicate so hard on RAD Syndicate's home map, giving them a very real chance in the next map in Bind. So it's all up to GodParticles now. RAD Syndicate though making a few small mistakes. If they're able to correct just that, they might just be able to clutch through, make it 13-11 and not force them to go to a mentally taxing overtime. We see a small technical issue come out for the side of RAD Syndicate, as it will be ZBDF looking to connect back. So if you were GodParticles, it looks like they are going for the B push, but if you were GodParticles, would you go for a hard rush and just put everything up in the air and go for it, or would you play very, very slow and try to look for picks?
I don't think there is any reason for GodParticles to change up their playstyle at all. This has been working for them in this half, so there's literally zero reasons for them to be changing anything. They should be sticking to what they are doing best, because RAD Syndicate have not been able to counter that and break their winning streak. So I think this could potentially go to overtime. What do you think about this? Yeah.
I definitely think it's possible. I mean, we were talking about how comfortable RAD Syndicate is, and with comfort comes a sort of complacency that you don't really learn how to adapt. And now when a team like GodParticles is able to put you on your toes and tell you either adapt or lose, maybe RAD Syndicate are not able to adapt because they've been so comfortable with the regular playstyle coming into the defending side. Now Paradox just checking into the man computer that is Cypher, see if he has reconnected. We will be back into the game real quick, but I do think it is definitely possible. But at the same time, there's been too many times where we've seen teams come so close yet not close enough. At 12-11, it ends up being 13-11, and RAD Syndicate is very much capable of that. So I will keep the cards close and not actually make a prediction just yet. But I would love to see overtime. As a caster, as a spectator, and I know the viewers would too, we want to see the matches be as action-packed and as close as possible.
Yeah, we did see a similar scoreline coming in on Split actually when RAD Syndicate went up against Wannabe Pros. And on that map, it was potentially headed over to overtime. It was like a 12-11 scoreline. And then you know what? After that, RAD Syndicate was like, let's just finish this over here. Didn't let it go to overtime and just took Split 13-11. So I do believe that there is a potential, like a storm coming in from RAD Syndicate who'll just switch things over. But they did. It's not like Paradox. It's not like RAD Syndicate haven't tried to switch things up. We saw Paradox shifting where he took the operator from the bottom mid position towards the A shot position. Wasn't able to make anything work from there because he was instantly smoked off. Wasn't able to pick that angle out anymore. So it does look like GodParticles have prepared into this half, and it does. And as I said earlier, we could be seeing something different coming out from GodParticles as they win this, as they could swap things over as they head towards the attacking half, and that's exactly what we see happening right now. They have pulled back from what was a 9-3 half, if I'm not wrong, from a 9-3 half to what a 12-11 looks right now. That's really really well played from them. So it is a potential overtime game, or the game just ends away. It's just rats and you cannot can't call any shots right now.
Yeah, for sure. And this last round becomes so clutch because, as you mentioned, 9-3 half for the side of God Particles, about to be potentially 9-3 half for them on the other side, but in their favor instead. That 8-4 is like, even though it's just one round difference, it makes so much of a difference when it comes to the end of the game. So if RAD Syndicate are able to make it 8-4, they just win the game. But if God Particles able to replicate what RAD Syndicate did to them, it will even right up take us to overtime. Now,
Let's fly.
GodParticles opting to go for a 3-2 split with 3 members with the person holding the spike on the side of B, where ZBDF has set up on his lonesome to hold down B side as much as possible. Just the one man, if they make the push, they might be able to do just that. They will get spotted out right there, though, forcing them to potentially move back. Paradox makes a rotation, trying to look for any sort of a peek that he can take. Now, hard push coming down with the help of the Cypher Cage. Just waiting for somebody to shoot first. Neither team wants to do just that. Trapfire at the B entry point will get destroyed, potentially revealing some information. But now GodParticles using the fact that that information is revealed to rotate, pinging down the mid-market side, trying to take control. But MSCS goes for the run it back, is able to spot out where Paradox is, but not able to get anything else for his team. Mid control is now in the hands of GodParticles, who get the first kill of the round. 5 versus 4 in the favor of GodParticles as he try to go to overtime. Now, Ray holding down the entry to A gets one step back. Revive does come in for Knight Rider, something we mentioned before, that something, as Rex mentioned, is not in the hands of RAD Syndicate. Logista getting another 5 versus 3 in the favor of RAD. Master gets one though, Spike Carrier is killed. Shivi gets the return kill back onto Master. Shivi will pick up the spike and try to plant. Ember gets the kill onto Paradox, 4 versus 1. Looks like we're going to overtime, guys. Just ZBDF left, and it honestly looks like he might be facing technical issues and has disconnected, basically granting the free win over to GodParticles. Going into overtime, this just sort of, the entire game went up in the air. Like 9-3 against the RAD Syndicate, who we very well know to be very comfortable on the defensive side, is somewhat of a huge momentum swing for GodParticles. And now in overtime, where it's constantly attack, defense, is up to the team that adapts the best to get the win for themselves. They will spot out the AFK ZBDF, able to get the kill onto them. 12-12 overtime. Now that's something we did not expect after the first half.
Overtime. This is the closest. This is indeed the closest we've seen someone take RAD Syndicate on Ascent, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
Is probably one of the most intense Ascent games we've seen in a long time in the series as well. You know, coming really close to the series yesterday against Atmosphere, but that time around on Split, where we didn't go to overtime, so 13-11 scoreline. That was probably one of the closest maps we've casted. Even that was a really cool comeback coming down from a similar scoreline, if I'm not wrong. This time around, though, we will be headed to overtime. GodParticles beginning their half on the CAT side, where they will win only one round. So, as we mentioned, like this time around in overtime, that there is no economic factors that teams have to take care of. Because now we're all locked to a 5,000 cap. There's no one who increases we don't see like any team having more than 5,000. But with that, one of the biggest issues is that if you have a player like Paradox or Knight Rider on the team who does excel in using the operator, they aren't going to be able to afford all their abilities and the operator and heavy shields. That's one trade-off that the team has to make coming into this round, because he would just have like the operator costs 4,500 and the light shields cost around 400. So that's 4,900 and just 100 left. That doesn't even allow you to get a secondary weapon to use the operator well enough, because that forces you to challenge just with classic. But your teammate can drop you a ghost, but that's not the case for abilities. So it's a kind of a trade-off choice for teams. So it's really interesting to see what they will be doing. Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard to see how this game has been panning out. Ember on top, 28 kills. The closest member from his team is Logista at 16. There we see Paradox running the operator, not too surprising, while Knight Rider choosing to go in for the Phantom and not for the operator pick. Even in the last round, even the previous round, the one before we headed over to overtime, we didn't see an operator coming out from them. So let's see what this works out.
I mean, even in terms of agent picks, I think it's more frustrating for the Sage as compared to the Jet to not have her abilities, because the barrier, which costs 400, if you buy the operator, you suddenly can't afford such an important ability that they definitely need. So I see why Knight Rider going for the Phantom. Having said that, GodParticles are starting on the defensive side, and having the operator would be so huge for them. Paradox going for the aggressive operator, just showing his comfort with it. Now we are into the round. We're into overtime. Paradox going for the instant peak. 3 members on A for both team. 2 members on B for both teams. Rado going for the mid control. Now Master sends out the boom bot. Will spot out a couple people. Flash comes out for Ember as he tries to go for the peak. Loses his life to Paradox, who between Rad very well juggling the peaks and sort of baiting out the flash. Now drone goes out by Deoxys. Will try to spot someone. I don't believe it has spotted Shivi yet. Hawks and Logista though getting a kill onto Ray and ZBDF on the other side. Absolutely huge for their team, giving them a man advantage. 4v3 in the favor of GodParticles, even though RAD Syndicate got the opening kill. Now, RAD Syndicate is making the rotation towards B as Paradox looks to get some sort of snipe down in mid. There is no utility left for GodParticles on B side. So RAD Syndicate will be able to just walk in right here. But the rotation's coming in. Knight Rider back, throws out the slow off just in time. Absolutely clutch. Will delay them for so long. If they want to go, they have to go like right about now with just 25 seconds left. Running out of time, Paradox gets the snipe onto Knight Rider, proving the reason why he did opt to go for the expensive off buy. Now 3 versus 3 as Master gets 1, making it 3 versus 2. Just Shivi, no more Shivi, just Shivi, no more Logista left for them. Spike is planted, 3 versus 1. Rad did look way better on the attacking side. They got 9 wins. So this is something you would expect out of them. Having said that, you don't want to give Rad the match point in defense. Even though GodParticles look amazing in attack, Rad can always pull it back. Paradox, 4 kills with his operator. But as you said, it won't really matter to the economy that much because it is 5,000 capped. But RAD Syndicate once again on the match point. Do you think they can clutch through?
Oof, this was, Paradox stepping up for his team when he was most needed with the operator goes in for that entry fragging pick. Like, this is the amount of confidence that we wouldn't see coming out from a lot of other players, because not all of us, we see such an aggressive playstyle coming in from the operator. And like that's been rewarding for him. He gets one kill towards the entry on the A side, gets the second onto Knight Rider holding that passive angle towards the city position. Even the game sense to just like peek an angle like that. This time around, going for the operator again. Let's see, like given the 5,000 cap, he's not able to afford all the smokes. Is only able to get that one updraft in with the light armor. So we spoke about how the operator play comes. We are going to see a B hit coming in from B hit coming in from GodParticles, and there is no one on the B side. Oh, there is, excuse me. Deox is though with this drone will spot out the first member. Will throw in a shock dart, which should do damage to him. We can't really see that. Paradox though does spots one member in in mid lanes, will not be able to connect. Will not connect the shot on them. Still looking to aggress with this upper. Knight Rider gets him down.
There they
Knight
are.
Rider can recover that operator. That's going to be really important for Knight Rider. Ember in the meantime gets out Deoxys. ZBDF lone man on the B side. He's rotated out towards the mid market position. The B side is open for business right now. That's not where the spike is going. The spike is making its way towards the A side. Ray though holding by the edges of this smoke. Can he make something work? Picks out at the right time, but is unable to get anyone. Shivi take him down. Master will take down Hooks. Master with his second. That's going to be really important for them. 36 seconds on the clock. Cylinder 1v3. Make that a 1v3 just for ZBDF. 12-13. If ZBDF clutches it out, they're going to go. We see RAD Syndicate pulling out this map. ZBDF looking to see if there's someone towards the garden position, but no one is there. There is someone towards this A-shot position. You spot him right about now. They do know where he is now. ZBDF, his position is revealed. The camera will, the door is just going to buy some more time, breaks the door in time. Will spot one moment, but slow up is not going to make his job easier. In the meantime, he's going to get the kill onto Knight Rider. The Phoenix though, he's rotated all towards A main. He's not aware of this time around. He has to take this fight towards the A main position. Logista peeks out at the right time. 13-13. We are going to double overtime.
Yeah, this is absolutely beautiful from both teams. But last round, Paradox, as you said, his aggressive playstyle granting the win for his team as the gambling did pay off. But this round, perhaps a bit too aggressive going into mid. Knight Rider catches him out as it's just the operator. One shot you hit, you kill. One shot you miss, you die. It's as simple as that. Paradox not hitting this round. Unfortunate for his team. Now, let's take a quick look. Paradox once again. Amazing confidence from Paradox to once again go for the operator. This time down B side as he tries to find someone. Will get hit by the bolt coming out of the recon drone, spotting him out now. All of RAD Syndicate is towards the B half of the map with 2 to now 3 members trying to get mid control. Ray, ZBDF, Paradox, and now Deox is slowly moving towards mid, perhaps looking for a rotation down to A because the barrier had come out on the B side, denying any sort of push there. Master staying in B side, waiting to see if there's any picks coming out. Now, RAD Syndicate, it is up to them to make the first move. Knight Rider will get revealed by the recon bolt. Now, 5 versus 5 still, as both teams just sort of playing cautiously. None of the aggressiveness we saw from either team in the first few rounds of overtime come out. Embassies though takes out ZBDF. Paradox will not be able to return the kill back as Embassies takes out Deoxys as well. 2 kills for GodParticles going up by 2 men. 3 versus 5 against RAD Syndicate. Spike is picked up, but Ray and Master get 1 each, though Shivi answers back onto Paradox, makes it 2v3. Ember gets another. 3 kills from him this round. Ray getting hit from the back. No, getting hit from the wall will not be able to pull anything through. And Logista with the classic finish it off. First match point for GodParticles. We've seen RAD Syndicate on the match point twice, but GodParticles only this time now. And they get it through the defense side where they are supposed to be supposedly weaker. Going into the attacking side, they have to have so much confidence. If they're able to pull off the upset win in what is considered one of RAD's best map, going into bind gives them so much confidence.
Yeah, definitely, and like it does allow them to have that comfort for the third map. Talking about Haven from GodParticles, we see them pull off a 13-5 win against Rising Vipers Bravo, if I'm not wrong. This time around, Paradox still sticking with the operator, will not change things up. Looking to see if we can still make work of it this time around. They are pushing towards the same mid position. Look at the amount of map control Master and Paradox have taken in the meanwhile. That's going to give them so much information just to stack out the B side. A 3-man hold coming in towards the B side. The drone from Deoxys spots 1 as well. He will, they aren't going to make anything of the information. They are going to send Master back to the B side because we know Paradox can hold this angle with the operator, and that's exactly where the spike is coming. This can be exactly the Paradox show because he's holding this aggressive angle, and there is no way that they are aware of this. They are going to peek him right about now. Paradox, though he doesn't get the kill. Shivi, insane game sense coming from him. Lands the shot onto Paradox. 4v5 situation. Master in the meantime rotates out of the heaven position. Gets one. Will be taken down by Knight Rider. Make that a 3v4 situation. GodParticles in the advantage. Deoxys spots out one member towards the switch. Will get down to 25 HP. That's going to be no more heals coming in from him due to the lack of the Sage. They have made the way towards from the A shot position towards the A side. Deoxys looking to lurk in the smoke. Pushes right out the timing. I don't think he gets spotted in the smoke. Will he be able to move on the side? He gets one. He whiffs the spray. Manages to get the kill in the meantime. 2v2 situation. Ray and ZBDF are on map point. They really need to make this work. They are both making their way from the A-shot position. The spike has been planted for A-main where Knight Rider will be working the operator from while Logista holds from the under heaven position. He has been smoked off as of right now, so there comes the first peek. Onto Logista, manages to secure the kill. That's just ZBDF on the side. 1v2 situation for ZBDF. The whole team's shoulders riding on him right now. Spots the Omen teleportation. Doesn't know where it is. Knight Rider gets the kill. 15-13. GodParticles managed to pull it off. Win Ascent against RAD Syndicate.
That right there by ZBDF, a bit weird to say. Like I do think he saw the shadow coming out, but instead opposite turn. I think believing that the Omen would cancel his move right there, but Omen does not do that. Winning the mind game, winning the round, the upset pull back from 9-3 to 15-13, coming through for GodParticles, absolutely huge. Ember 32-19, average combat score of 315. 100 more than the next player on his team, absolutely carrying GodParticles right here. Huge plays by GodParticles. Bind is their home map. We might see a situation like the God Squad Zeg match where both teams sort of win each other's home maps. But the way this game was pulled back, the momentum is definitely in the favor of GodParticles.
Yep, definitely really interesting to see what heads over when we head to bind. Talking about RAD Syndicate's bind, we are going to see some changes coming in from them on their lineup. If let's take a quick look at the AMD reel of the moment before I start ranting about the bind coming in from RAD Syndicate.
So this round, it started off so well for RAD Syndicate, right? 9-3. How would you feel if you're RAD Syndicate right now? The fact that you're so close to just basically stomping the other team, moving on to map 2, end up getting pulled back so hard and then losing the map in itself.
Boy, I mean, if I'm RAD Syndicate, I'm not gonna, take too much time thinking about this map because let's move on to the next map that's going to be bind, because I definitely do believe that they expected to take bind easily given the first, like given the scoreline we saw coming out from them. So yeah, it's going to be definitely shocking for them that they lost bind, Ascent, a map they have been extremely dominant on. So yeah, so they are, but let's not waste too much time on that because like let's just forget about it because it could be just one hiccup in the road, just one bump that just came on their way. Even the best have of days, like it's not, we can't expect 100% perfect playstyle coming in from there. But the one thing they aren't gonna like is the way they tackle the second half, obviously, right? Given the fact that they had such a humongous lead, they had a 9-3 scoreline, and from there to be losing in double overtime is going to be really really shocking from them because it's not what you would expect from the team or caliber of RAD Syndicate. So really shocking, really sad for them, but they can't really think much of it.
Absolutely amazing. And this is something we can sort of, if not expect, sort of hope for, at least given the stage of the tournament. We are like so far into the tournament that the skill gap between teams is ridiculously marginal, and that's showing today because even though Rat Syndicate are considered to be a slightly better team, God Particle is just sort of stepping up. Ember is especially the way he stepped up in the attacking side of the map, taking advantage of the Phoenix pick, who we do know to be a slightly more attacking favored pick, showing exactly why Phoenix is his signature pick, showing why his name is Ember even. Absolutely on fire, really well played. As you said, though, Rat Syndicate, they just need to forget about what happened in this map and reset, go for the bind. God Particles, on the other hand, they're going to be in no hurry to forget. They're going to be all pumped up and ready to go for their home map to try to make it 2-0 in a series that many would predict it would be in RAD Syndicate's favor. So GodParticles now looking like they are the favorites to win this out. Let's see if they can actually pull that through. Remember, if you think you have the metal or the skill, or if you just want to check yourselves out against the best of the best, the Series 2 registration is open now in the link below. I know you guys are loving the content. We got one of our first major upsets ever in the tournament, and show your support by dropping a like, sharing the stream, and subscribing with the notification bell on to make sure you have constant updates of every single game of the LG Ultra Gear TEC Challenger Series. Now, that's going to be it from us as we look to set up for game 2. In the meantime, if you'd like to get some primetime headphones for yourselves, JBL does have a 10% discount code for you guys on the JBL Quantum Gaming headsets. So go out, get yourselves some top quality headphones, and we'll be right back with some top quality gameplay in the map 2 of the match between GodParticles and the RAD Syndicate.
I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. And we don't need to do the things we don't wanna do.
Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice. Let the glorious battle begin. Geared up for victory. LG Ultragear Gaming Monitor.
I never want to make compromises when I play. I need every FPS I can take to perform at my peak. For myself, for my team, as well as for my viewers. Streaming always used to present me with a choice, either FPS or stream quality. I no longer have to make that decision thanks to AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors. Now my viewers get to see my gameplay smoothly. Ever since joining the team in 2018, AMD's partnership with Fnatic has given us the latest computer tech to help our performance. 3rd generation Ryzen is now the pinnacle of multi-threaded processor performance, and it's a big step up from everything else I've used before. AMD have listened to our feedback to make sure they make the best products possible so that we can simultaneously play as well as stream at the best setting. That's why I use AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series powered by JBL Quantum Gaming Headsets and AMD. I'm CA, your host and co-caster for the day, joined by Rex Streams, and we're back for the map 2 between GodParticles and the RAD Syndicate. Absolutely amazing game 1 on Ascent, in which GodParticles pulled a comeback. Looking at what we have to offer in the maps, what do you think about Bind, Rex Streams?
So talking about Bind, we have seen God Particles love playing Bind. We saw them play it against God Squad, but they obviously they got destroyed against God Squad, so to say, again on Bind. But that's also due to one of the key factors that they weren't able to avail Knight Rider services coming into that map. So that obviously impacts the whole team chemistry, something you mentioned, and the main operator for the team wasn't there. So that obviously would have impacted how they played. But over and above that, we saw multiple mistakes coming in from them, where where God Squad were just able to leave Deathmaker on site on A site and play on the tripwires and Hellfighter, and both of them were just able to lock down the site multiple times. So it was really interesting to see how God Squad had set up to play bind against God Particles. So yes, this time around I'm hoping that God Particles have made those changes around coming to not making those silly mistakes, committing to just blind rushes and stuff, but they can use the utility a lot better. But talking about how the roles will pan out for this map, we will definitely see Deoxys no longer running the Sova on bind. According to my data and according to my research, we've seen him run the Brimstone quite frequently on this map. Paradox will obviously be on the duelist role. He doesn't on bind. He is the duelist role. He is the main duelist for the team, right? And we will still be Badman on Sage, Master on his signature race. So not many swaps coming in, but that one swap over from Sova to Brimstone is really interesting to see, and I will see how the rest of the team pans out. I don't think we will be seeing any team compositions changes coming out from God Particles, who will still be running the Sage, the Sova, the Cypher, the Omen, uh, and the Phoenix. There can be a change from the Brim to the Omen or one of those agents, depending on the map.
Got
And
here.
yeah, let's take a quick look at the scoreboard. We do see, Paradox on the Duelist, Ray actually sticking Ray on the Sage, Batman on the Sage. Deox is sticking with his Sova. Interesting that he doesn't swap over to the Brim that I've seen him do once or twice. And ZBDF on the Omen, switching off from the Cypher. Oh, no Cypher lineup coming on towards Bind. That is interesting, not something we see really often. And we in God Particles, no changes except Logista switching over from the Brim, from the Omen to the Brim. So you've mentioned this multiple times. We've spoken this about way too many times that on a map like Bind, you don't need to necessarily take map control of a particular area while making your execute, and that's why teams choose the Brimstone 3 smokes instead of Omen's regenerating smoke. We are going to see what looks like a hard A push coming in from God Particles, who are just about now backing away from the trying to bait out some early round rotations from them. The Omen smoke does come in to burn some more time off the clock while the rotations towards the B side are underway. The lone man towards the B side is Paradox as of right now, who will be getting support coming in from Deoxys to help hold down the fort of B side. And that's exactly where the spike is making its way. Logista is making his entry towards Hookah. Or are they just time? They really. Oh, okay, they're baiting out the recon that was thrown in by Deoxys. Deoxys will definitely know that there is someone over there, and that's gonna call a rotation from them at any moment. The supporting smoke into Hookah, that'll and ZBDF on the back of that smoke being thrown will rotate. The camera will be brought back by Shivi, and there comes the rotate onto the A side. I like what God Particles are doing in this round, keeping RAD Syndicate on their feet, keeping them guessing as to what's happening. There comes the execute towards the A side, the recon, and everything is through. Batman still holding towards this Ulam's position, will be taken down. The Paranoia will blind him, but he is able to stand in it and heal up. He gets another kill onto ZBDF, make that a 5v3 at God Particles, looking to cement there. Hold onto this B side. In the meantime, Deoxys and Master are going to get one each. The shock darts connecting for Deoxys. We've seen this man do wonders with those. Spike is not going down, and it goes on right in the nick of time. But Paradox is going to get the Spike killer down, and that's the round for the RAD Syndicate.
Absolutely clutch right there by RAD Syndicate. As you mentioned, brilliantly played by God Particles to just jiggle between A side and B side and keep RAD Syndicate guessing, but RAD Syndicate able to make it back on time. Ember though, so well to get 2 kills, but right here, the shock dart, I believe, no. Yeah, the shock dart gets the first spike planter in Logista, and then Paradox is able to get the second spike planter right here. Absolutely clutch,
down.
not giving them enough time to plant the spike. And about the compositions, I would
Revealing
definitely,
area.
just as you expected, the switch up to get the Cypher in and put Deoxys on the Brimstone, but that doesn't
Found
happen.
them.
Sort of counting on Deoxys as the solo info agent and his ability to just spot out every single person. I have to
Deploying
wonder
drone.
if that the entire reason ZBDF, for example, is on Omen is because Deoxys wanted to stay on his Sova, or the team wanted Deoxys to be on his Sova. As you can see, absolutely clutch, right? Because the guy gets shock dart kills again and again and again, proving his mastery over that agent. Now, all smokes used towards A side as they try to hard push A. The slow comes out, multiple members got out in that slow by Ray. Brilliantly played by Ray to give RAD Syndicate the 2-0 lead. Now, this we saw last round as well, but it was actually RAD Syndicate on the attack last time. So RAD Syndicate already showing a much better show in their defensive half than the attacking side. This is the home map for GodParticles, so I assume they're very comfortable on defending. That coupled with the fact that they do have a Cypher on their lineup, they're going to just look to get as many wins as they can on the attacking side and then move on to the defensive side, knowing that they can do better.
This now we head into the first buy round. We are going to see the Phantoms and the Vandals. Ray going in for the Ghost, looking to. We're not going to see an operator coming out from them early round. Still sticking to the Phantom. 5 Phantoms coming out for the side of GodParticles, the drone, and there comes the spot on the drone for Logista, who'll back off, not to lose his life after being spotted. GodParticles looking to take B control as there is no one holding the B side except the lone 2 people towards the hookah. That's exactly what's going to happen right now. So drone will definitely spot them out, will definitely give Ember this information. He drops down a hookah there, he's spotted by Ember, he's stuck there in the position. Tries to throw in a shock dart if I'm not wrong. There comes the flash on by Ember onto Deoxys and there goes down. Oh, sorry, that's Paradox who takes down folks. Paradox though will get rid out in an instant, make that a 3v2 situation as Ray gets one through the teleporter as well. The spike is making its way towards the B side. ZPDF will be caught throwing the paranoia 1v3 situation. They are making the rotate towards the A side since they now know where Ray exactly is. Ray will not be able to catch the spike on the rotate as the Cypher cage will allow them to cross over. The spike should be able to make its way towards the A side as of right now because of how far Ray is from stopping this plant right now. There comes the spike. They are still maintaining control over the city position. The tripwire being destroyed by Ray will further reveal his location. They now know he's coming hot on his heels on the flank towards the A short position. Looking to see if he can find an early kill, but the first line of contact that he will make is towards the Heavens position. The Heavens player is not peeking out, just jiggles out enough, gives up the information to his team as to how far Batman has actually pushed into this position, and Ember will clean him up.
Brilliantly played by GodParticles once again to clutch out this buy round, not letting RAD Syndicate just run away with the economy lead and the point lead in this half, proving absolutely huge. Now, 2-1, RAD Syndicate actually didn't spend as much as you would normally expect them to. So you see 3 Phantoms come out for them with 1 Ghost on Ray and 1 Spectre on Deoxys. So RAD Syndicate still not exactly behind in terms of economy, but they will not be sporting the all-over full build for themselves, which will be a disadvantage. Now, Paradox goes for the 1v1 with Ember, ends up losing out even though he has the early information. Knight Rider finds a kill onto Ray. It's the battle of the clones with GodParticles winning out both the duels between Phoenix and Sage. Now, GodParticles' spike is dropped back way behind. I wonder if someone will go out to collect it because they have control of both sides. ZBDF though gets a kill onto Knight Rider, making it even 4 versus 2. Now Hoax will pick up the spike for GodParticles right there as he makes his way to A side. But Deoxys gets one as ZBDF gets another. Perhaps leaving the spike up too late. They did get control of the sides. If they're able to put down the site, the spike in any side, they might have fared better. But 2v2, still not nearly close to over for either teams. This teleport is used by ZBDF to reposition himself towards B using his ultimate right there. Now, 2 versus 2, they might know that ZBDF is here because you do get an audio and visual cue when the Omen ultimate is used. Right here, ZBDF going for the wall bang, does not find him, instead revealing his position for Hoax to wall bang him back. Ember CS gets the final kill, making it 2-2 in the favor of 2-2 evenly, with the economy in the favor of GodParticles.
Boy, they are going to be really happy with the way they've equalized things despite losing the first pistol round, given the fact that we do believe that Bind leans towards the defensive side due to how long the potential rotations could come in if you do not use the teleporters. So yeah, it does turn towards the defensive side, and GodParticles are really going to be happy with the way they've pulled out these first buy rounds after losing the pistol, looking to continue their streak. Shivy, lone man lurking with the Cypher, throws in the camera, will obviously spot the Sage, spams some few shots, unable to do any damage to anyone. But in the meantime, Paradox has pushed up towards the shower position. Shivy is obviously expecting something like this right now. The B side is where the spike is making its way, but no one's holding it. but Hoen's holding it down, so they should be able to make their way. Deoxys does have the right idea in his mind, is making its rotate towards the city position, does get smoked off in an instant, and will not choose to aggress at the back of this. The spike has made its way into the B side. We're in a 5v5 retake situation. And it looks like a done and dusted round for GodParticles, as obviously we didn't see much of an investment coming in from the RAD Syndicate into this round. Chevy, in the meantime, will take out ZBDF, and it does seem like they are trying to carry forward a little bit of the armor they've invested into this round to the next round, so that there's one less investment, the 400 credits you can save up. And Master does have those two satchels, the super aspects that he can use towards next round. So yep, so I do understand why they are going for this, or potentially even try to get a few exit kills as they try to leave the site.
Yeah, I feel like while RAD Syndicate are making the right call now to not sort of invest any of more of their economy going down in trying to take back B site, I think the call to 5-man stack A site completely backfired, or at least wasn't executed properly. Because the general idea in in an eco round, when you do 5-man stack any area, is to go for the aggressive push down one area while the other sort of entry point just holds down. While Paradox did go for the aggressive shower push, he doesn't push beyond the entry point itself, therefore not really getting any information for them. And the idea itself completely backfiring on them as GodParticles actually opted to go B side. So GodParticles right now winning the mind games against RAD Syndicate and taking the round lead is absolutely huge. Knight Rider throws out the slow, tries to get the wall bang on any player aggressing out of hookah. Not able to find anyone though. Complete split coming out from the side of GodParticles 2-1-2. Ray finds a kill onto Ember as he long. Hoax answers back onto Ray though. Multiple shock darts thrown out by Deoxys. Paradox is tagged by right there, but Deoxys finds the kill onto Hoax and then finds a wall bang onto Knight Rider right there, giving them a two-man advantage. RAD Syndicate fighting back really well. ZBDF finds a kill onto Logista. Shivi answers back, but Master ready to clean up, making it 3-3, completely even for both teams. And it looks like both teams just sort of picking up from where we left off in last game. So close, and both teams just at each other's throats.
This match is the closest we could have expected coming into this half. Do you think we are going to see a similar scoreline coming in the previous map, the overtime play, and something that neck to neck, or do you think we are going to see one of the teams steering away with this?
So, I have said this before, and I am a gambling man. I do enjoy my broker. And what I do feel is that your mind games and the way your psychology is built up is so important. GodParticles are not going to forget the way they dominated the second round. And now going into the defensive side of this map, which will be the second round, they will have the confidence knowing that they have the Cypher, which RAD didn't have. So if RAD is not able to pull out a massive lead right here, I do think GodParticles just clutch through and make it 2-0 for the entire series win.
We are looking towards an A-side execute coming in, two members towards this A-shot position, the spike making its way into shower with Logista. This has also called what could look like a rotation right now, but we do see Paradox and Deoxys now contemplating the B rotate, A rotate, as they don't see anyone. The recon dart will obviously spot. ZBDF loses the gunfight to Shivi. 5v4 situation. The spike is making its way towards the B side. There comes the neural theft that will reveal everyone's positions. Master gets in the meantime. He's going to take down Ember. Logista is going to get his second in the round. There comes the Molotov that will take it. That'll burn some time. And Ray, he's down to 11 HP. Does manage to heal up. Paradox is going to get one in the meantime on the back of his ultimate. There comes the retake. The Molotov towards the pocket position will force Hoax to reposition. 2v2 retake situation. Paradox does have the operator. Lands one shot. Make that a 1v2 situation. Logista though does have his ultimate ready to throw in towards the spike. That's exactly what we're going to see right now. Do they know where he is? The time is ticking. They are looking to clear him out of this angle. Deoxys, the timing! Deoxys gets the kill onto Logista, and RAD Syndicate are able to secure a round 4-3.
That was a bit of a misplay from Logista right there. I think it would have been much better to either commit to just staying safe and peeking out of that position, or throw down the ultimate earlier and then wait for them to jump out and try to get the kill in that way. Not able to decide between either, ended up like turning out exact wrong time back to his ultimate placing screen, not actually able to find Deoxys, who was making the move towards him, gives RAD Syndicate the lead once again. Now, as I said, if RAD Syndicate have a significant lead, and a significant lead is even 7-5, like 7-5, 8-4. If RAD Syndicate are able to pull that through, I do think it's way closer than we can expect. But Master going aggressive through the smoke, finding Shivy, who was carrying the spike, as GodParticles commit to a hard, aggressive A push. Now, RAD Syndicate just trying to play it slow as the rotations coming in from Paradox and Deoxys. 3 versus 2 in the favor. Oh my god, Deoxys finds 2 kills with his Hunter's Fury from the middle of the map all the way to A side, making it 2v1 in the favor of RAD Syndicate. This is going to be a huge round for RAD Syndicate because it gives them the eco advantage going forward, setting them up for a very easy 6-3 and potentially making it even more easier for them to go for the 7 or 8 rounds in the defensive side, which will be huge because the lack of a Cypher hurts you more on the defensive side than the aggressive side. If they're able to use the lack of the Cypher well on their defensive side, going into the attacking side, they will be feeling much more confident.
Ooh, Hawks though tried to line up those shock darts, unable to secure the kill. Does lose the round in the end, but is able to secure 2 kills and able to recover the operator. That can be really helpful if you can put it back on Knight Rider. So really interesting to see what they can do. Deox is though extremely clutch for his team, turning the round on its head in an instant. Not the best economy coming in into this round for GodParticles, as you see 2 members with bulldogs and light armor, not even able to afford the full weaponry. Paradox using this drone to, Paradox using Deoxys' drone to get some information. They will fall back towards the B side safe havens, using this operator towards the B long position, trying to get the early round pickup. Hoax is headed over here, spots Paradox on his drone. Does he know about Deoxys' position? Is really important. If Deoxys is not clear him out right now. Ember though gets the kill onto Ray, who's climbed up on his rage wall. He does have the run it back. That could be really important coming into this round because he can definitely use that to gain some information, get an extra life. There he pops it out, will make his way towards the A side. There comes the smoke, calls the rotation from Deoxys. Deoxys is on the flank right now. There is no tripwire that will stop him out, so he can easily make this. Hoax does have an idea of this, is definitely watching for this. Para in the meantime is going to take out Knight Rider, the better operator. Master with his grenade is going to connect on one as well. Make that a 3v4 situation. RAD Syndicate in advantage. Hoax though gets the kill onto Deoxys on the flank. ZBTF and the manages to trade it out onto Shivy. Make that a 2v3, 2v2 just as Ember pushes up. Gets the kill onto the members inside the shower's position. Spike has been dropped towards the A side. Hoax gets one that just leaves Paradox with his operator. The spike is down. Paradox using the wall to try to separate out members. He does have the operator. That's not the best weapon you want coming into this clutch, and Ember secures his 3rd.
I mean, millisecond differences between both teams in the sense that Paradox, even right there, he's able to pull back off the defuse, knowing that one member is going to step right back up, but pulls up a millisecond too late as Ember gets the peek in faster and be able to get the kill. Huge by GodParticles, because as we noticed, it wasn't the greatest of economies looking for them with a couple of bulldogs in that round. The fact that they're able to pull back for themselves, like take a quick look at the scorecard, see how everyone is doing on both teams. WDF leading the charge for RAD Syndicate with 8 kills, but economy round for them. Deoxys not far behind. As usual, the consistent player Deoxys. Now, GodParticles are switching it up, going for the B push. 3 members down B long. Now 4 members down B long. They're committing to this hard, and this is where the lack of a Cypher is going to really hurt RAD Syndicate, but they acknowledge that. Multiple agents rotating towards B side. Now 3 in B side as Paradox going for the full wraparound flank, will run into Shivy right here, turns at the wrong time, gets taken down by Shivy. 2-man advantage for GodParticles with the opportunity to make it even. Ember gets another 3-man advantage. Knight Rider, with the help of the Recon Bolt, will be able to find Ray through the boxes. 5 versus 1 for GodParticles. Ray win his lonesome with just the Sheriff. Gets taken down by Knight Rider. Flawless round for GodParticles. And while that was the eco round for RAD Syndicate, it genuinely doesn't feel like things are just not going right for them. The way Paradox turned at the like absolute last moment right there. If he would have been able to find Shivi if he had not turned. Just not working out for them. 5-5 for God Particles. I think Rad desperately need the next 2 rounds. Otherwise, it will be an easy defensive half for God Particles.
Boy, that round is going to be. This is the most important round because, if we see God Particles, like ideally you would want the equal half. Paradox going in for that aggressive peak does get taken down by Night Rider's operator, does get healed down to 58 HP, is able to, get himself up to full HP, which won't be happening after the patch comes live. Due to the recent nerfs to Sage. Ray in the meantime gets out his clone. We're in a
I
4v4
have retrieved the
situation.
spike.
They do have the revive. They could potentially go towards the Shower's position to get the
will
revive,
not
and that's
kill
exactly what's
my
going to happen.
allies.
Paradox brought back to life from the ashes. The Phoenix, what it's known for. Ray gets his second on the time. Really important round coming in for him. They are making the hit towards the B side. There comes the hot hands to clear off this pocket position. There comes the paranoia. And Paradox in the meantime, he's used his ultimate to pop out and gets Shivi. And not only does that drop, that also drops the spike. Now they have complete information on what's happening. And 6-5 as God Particles win this round. Sorry, RAD Syndicate win this round.
Yeah, Ray, the absolute MVP in that round, gets the revive and then gets this kill right here onto Logister to give them an extra man advantage. Flipping it over from God Particles having the man advantage to suddenly it being a 5v3 in the favor of RAD Syndicate. The fact that they're able to get this round, as you mentioned, crucial round, because if they had lost this round, the bye round, they would go into the last round of the first half with a very bad economy. Now though, let's take a quick look at the scorecard, see what both teams are sporting. Full bias of both teams, but the operator only in the hand of Knight Rider as ZBDF Deox is leading for their teams still. Now, again, B push for God Particles, but the Cypher, Shivi was on A side now making the full rotation down B. Paradox going down so low, will use the hot hands to heal himself back up. Puts up the wall for the additional coverage and healing as he reloads. Oh, the Hellfire coming out from Brimstone. Deoxys finds 2. Ember finds 1. Master finds another. Ember finds another through the flash. Now he has another flash. Had his ultimate as well. Gets wall banged by Paradox though. 3v1 for RAD Syndicate. If they're able to pull through this round, 7-5 would be huge going into the second half. Much better than what they were looking at before. Now Shivi, 1 versus 3, has the full health bar, has 2 cages, and just 1 point away from his ultimate. If he can get a kill, that would give him his ultimate and a corpse to use his ultimate on. Like he says, just give me a corpse is what Shivi is looking for right now. 2 members right here. Paradox with his operator peeking that side, throws down the Cypher cage to cover that entry. Just trying to bait someone out, but instead that will just bring ZBDF to him. And Paradox just waiting and waiting and waiting. Instantly fires off his shot. Makes it 7-5 for RAD. And going in with an advantage towards the attacking side, I think is extremely important for RAD. Since I do believe that their composition is slightly better at attacking than it is at defending.
Yep, definitely.
Got hit.
6-5, make that 7-5 now because RAD Syndicate do manage to win that round.
Got hit.
They are going to be definitely happy with the fact that they have steered right ahead. Like even though it's 2 rounds, that gives them the comfort for even if they lose the pistol round, it does they will still be at an equal scoreline. No team will have the clear lead into this. So yeah, it's definitely really interesting to see how this map pans out. Knight making his way towards the Shower's position, looking to see if he can get an aggressive pick. Interesting to see how he opts for the ghost and double slows instead of going in for the wall barrier. That's something really common on Bind, when we see them playing the A side, because you can just wall off the A shot position and gives you lesser areas to worry about. And that's exactly what we saw coming out from Ray when he was defending. He went in for the wall. Though shock that's not connecting onto anyone towards the Shower's position. Recon will expose 2 members. Knight Rider though does manage to avoid the flash. There comes a shooting gallery in front of him. He's gonna get 1. Logista and Shivi are there to back him up. ZBDF in the meantime gets 1. Make that a 3v2 situation. God Particles are in the leading advantage now. Deox is 100 HP. Doesn't have a recon. Doesn't have a shock darts. Looking to see if he can get this early push onto the CD position. But there comes the jiggle picks. He gets spotted. Shivi lands a beautiful shot, and Knight Rider's gonna clean it up onto ZBDF. 7-6. God Particles win the pistol round as the side swap takes place.
Yeah, God Particles absolutely clutch in the way. Like as you said, shooting gallery just showing up in front of Knight Rider, able to get a couple kills for himself. And then it becomes a man advantage for them. with the rest of their team just sort of clutching through, cleaning up. But as you said, right, this pistol round is something that RAD Syndicate, because of their lead, are able to afford to give up. Now, you notice in terms of kills, it's Ember and Knight Rider as we expect leading it, and Deoxys and ZebDF for the side of RAD. Eco round for RAD as the flash goes out. Ember spamming, but will not really, he'll only be able to get Paradox. Shivi gets one more. ZebDF did answer back onto Ember though. So it is a man advantage for GodParticles, but with two of their members still having to rotate, it will not be, it's not instant man advantage. Knight Rider though finds a kill onto Deoxys, making it 2 versus 4 in the favor of GodParticles. Now, as we mentioned, GodParticles do have the eco advantage going into this round because they did win the pistol round. So they do have the better weaponry. They will be able to clutch out this round likely. The PDF though does find Logista just caught unaware in the corner, not really looking, not knowing perhaps that his position could be spotted out by that position from ZebDF. Now 2 versus 3 for RAD Syndicate. Can they clutch through? Knight Rider just waiting on the flank, gets Ray. Thinks about putting down the barrier, but considers otherwise, knowing he has the better weaponry, willing to take the fight. Now ZebDF has picked up a Spectre for himself. Is 1v2 on A site with Hawks just holding down B site. Can he push through? The camera will spot him out. The Spike-Arm dart actually misses him. 1v3. They know where he is, but they don't know where he's moving because the dart is not on him. Oh, pushes Knight Rider really, really low, but Knight Rider is able to get the kill onto him, making it 7-7 even Stevens for both team. Now, as we mentioned before, RAD Syndicate does have the luxury of giving these rounds up because of their lead, but they do not have the luxury of giving the next round up because it's even now and it's going to be the bye round for them. They desperately need the win and they need it now.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be one of the most important rounds. We see Shivi setting up towards the A side, not something we see really common coming in from Cypher mains, who lean towards the B side to use that requires, but interesting to see how they can do. That recon board not landing on the map can be really crucial because there's no information coming in from there. Lands right outside, doesn't reveal anyone though. ZBDF still holding this outside hookup position, looking to see if there is any aggression. Meanwhile, we will be seeing this A side. Paradox holding towards the shower position will be, just as the Cypher cage comes down, will look to entry. Uses the Deoxys sends in the drone to, reveal any positions on the side. There should be a spam coming in at any moment onto one of the members on the side. There comes the recon dart, spots him out. It doesn't get spammed through Paradox, lines up this flash, throws in the flame wall that really splits up the side and is allowed to get a free walkway into side. 7-7, 50 seconds on the clock. Paradox makes his way onto the side, but the Logista is not expecting this angle coming from him. The spike should be able to go down because they now have free control of the A side, with the wall being used to cut off blue lamps as well. ZPDF buys enough time for his team. Master gets 2, Hoax is gonna get 1, make that a 2v4 situation for Ember CS and Hoax to pull this one back around. They do spot one member towards the back of the side, but will not be able to get any spams. It looks like they are falling back from this round, looking to carry forward those Phantoms and Vandals coming into the next round and not losing those guns to they can drop those over and have a full buy coming in from them into the next round. 8-7 RAD Syndicate just moving around ahead of GodParticles on bind, which is picked by GodParticles.
Yeah, absolutely huge round for RAD and very well played by them. A bit of a sort of judgment error perhaps from Logista, because when you see the flame wall, you do expect the Phoenix to be walking right there, perhaps just not turning on time to find Paradox. Well played by Paradox though to get that entry, get that kill, set it up for his team. Now, 8-7 in the favor of RAD Syndicate, but more importantly, the economy back to like a sort of even state for RAD Syndicate. We see right here like how Paradox is able to do that flame wall going up. As you said, just granting him that this free area to walk. And Logista, yeah, he expects it right here, but then he turns at the wrong moment. Paradox finding the kill onto him. As we go back into game, we'll be able to take a quick look at the scorecard, see if Knight Rider is holding the op. It will not be the op. It's at 4 Phantoms and a Spectre for the side of GodParticles, whereas 5 Phantoms for RAD Syndicate, as they try to make the push down B side. Now, Ray,
he's gone.
Yeah, Ray is just slowly stepping up, and the Cypher did switch back to B. As you mentioned, we're more used to seeing Cypher at B. So now the rotation coming through. RAD Syndicate is committing through, but Paradox goes down. 5v4, Shivi takes down another with ZBDF, but RAD Syndicate answering back with 2 of their own. Ember takes down 2 more, making it 3v1 in the favor of GodParticles. The spike is dropped, but the spike is dropped and it's in the hookah position, and Deox is just sort of caught between everybody. He's not going to be able to make his way to the spike. Ember just guarding the spike with his life. Deox is now going for the flank. 2 members looking at the same angle could cost them their lives right here. Will Deoxys find them on time? Finds
Enemy
one.
down.
Will he be able to find another? No. Ember CS looks out at the hookah and gets his third. 8-8.
Oh boy, this map is exactly like Seesaw. The RAD Syndicate win the first two, then we see GodParticles answering back. This is just going on back and forth. 8-all. Ooh, this round is going to be really interesting to see who wins this one. Deoxys was set up perfectly to, win that round, but the timing as one of the members moved in towards B long and he couldn't connect on the both of them because, yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't know both of the players were walking in towards elbow and he didn't have that information, unlike as we do. It's really interesting to see why they would opt in for the double information operators agents towards the B side, the
Revealing
Sova
area.
and the Cypher. Really interesting to see like how they like to trust the A side more towards the other players. The recon though lands perfectly this time around, will not spot anyone that allows the aggressive push to form them towards the side. The amount of information being passed right now on the back of this B-long push coming in from Hoax is going to be really important. Ember though pops off his run it back, will not be able to spot anyone, but yep, this has prompted the rotations from the A side towards the B side, and definitely sure that Hoax can hear all of this. He is calling it to his teammates for sure. But look at the Cypher. The Cypher's actually making his way towards the B side, the A side right now. They're calling the rotations towards the A side because that's where they spotted a few members, but the B side is open right now. There's no one towards the B side. Hoax still holding this aggressive angle towards the B main position. There comes the Cypher cage. The recon will not spot anyone on side. Hoax still holding this angle. Paradox jumps right into side, flashes through. Will not get anything, but Hoax in the meantime strikes from the backlines, is finally going to connect on one. Shivi throws in that spam from his recon dart, will spot one member, tries to spam on the back of it, but Paradox is going to get the better of him. Hoax though is going to get it second. Knight Rider does have the revive that he will be using potentially to get his teammate back to life. Paradox in the meantime has got into on the back of his runner back. The hookah position has been walled off. Paradox goes down to Knight Rider's Vandal, make that a 3v2 situation. GodParticles still in the driver's seat. Master though does have his ultimate that he can use potentially to gain 1 or 2 kills for him. Deox is holding the sight line to see if anyone's pushing in from the city spawn, but they've all made their way towards the end of position. There comes the ultimate from Master. Doesn't spot anyone, will have to throw it in because the timer's running down back. That's only him in this situation.
Oh.
Rajasthan with a timely peek takes down Master. 9-8. GodParticles win the round.
You will not
Master trying to wait for someone to step up before throwing his ultimate, ends up not throwing it at all. The sort of move coming in from Cypher right there towards A side could have backfired, but given the fact that he's Cypher and has a camera ready for him, helps him out so much because as soon as the camera spots out a person, the entire team is able to rotate back. As you said, Hoax with a brilliant flank position was able to find ZBDF. GodParticles taking the lead for the first time this half, and a lead in terms of economy and scoreline will give them the chance to put a significant gap between themselves and RAD Syndicate. Guys, remember this is the second map. If you're loving the action that is on pace so far, especially from map 1 to map 2, drop a like, drop a subscribe, and have the notifications bell. But Knight Rider taking down Master, Ember taking down Paradox, Ember taking down ZBDF for his third. GodParticles could go up 10-8 versus RAD Syndicate right here, right now. Leaving the Cypher to hold down B-side by himself. Ray on his lonesome with the light shields and the Sheriff just to help him out. Will try to make the rotation towards B, but stands almost no chance versus this fully fortified Cypher site. GodParticles from 7-5 to 8-10 are not looking at their absolute best right here. The Cypher absolutely panning out, the advantage of having one for them. Now, Ray will slowly but surely make his way in. The Cypher Tripfire actually not on hookah, it's the Spycam dart will spot him out. And now he has to remove the dart and then go for the plant. He's getting collapsed on by every angle. Ember getting his 4th, absolutely huge. The MVP of game 1 for GodParticles once again showing up, trying to carry them to the 2-0 win. Huge plays by GodParticles, 10-8. The next round may as well decide the match, as it's going to be a bye round for both teams.
But this map is definitely not going the way like most of the people expected. Ember, the beautiful run coming in from him, gets a 4K, peeks out at the perfect time, gets 2 people over here. Just a quick look at the scoreboard. Surprise, surprise, Ember should be on the lead. And that's exactly what is happening. 22 frags, while the closest member from his team is at 15. Really interesting. Deox is having a good game. Get the hand as well. Shivi's camera does get taken, but it's going to give him information about the rest of the round. About the rest of the members. They are going in for the aggressive push towards the B-long position, as we see the push coming in. Paradox though does spot out Ember's running back in the meantime, who will take out ZBDF. That means no more smokes coming into them into this execute. They are making their way into Hookah. Master trying to see if he can make anything out of what's happening here. Does break the tripwire, that will reveal to them where he is. Throws in the nade. Raid does get the revive onto ZBDF. As of right now, Paradox though in the meantime does get taken down by Shivi. Shivi also has his ultimate that he can pop. As of right now, that's exactly what's happening. Cypher uploading as we see it. Master though takes down both the tripwires. That's going to be so much information coming in for GodParticles as they head into this round. 5v4, the rotation is coming through towards the B side. Knight Rider, look at his positioning. He's pushed up all lower showers. Look at the amount of information he's giving to his team right now. The operator that can be really crucial if they do not expect this angle, if they do not check him right now. The operator still aggressing. He's holding this angle so diligently, inching forward with every minute, that every second that goes by, not picking up too aggressively right now. There comes the Omen ultimate. He misses the shot. Logista's gonna get Master. Knight Rider lands it finally. Will get taken down by ZBDF. Make that a 2v4 situation. They did use the revive earlier, so that's not gonna be there for them in this round. 2v4 situation. RAD Syndicate 8-10, losing by 2 rounds. GodParticles are gonna fall back in their positions, not gonna aggress. Look at the time, 10 seconds. The spike will not be able to go down if they waste much time. They are looking to save their weaponry coming into the next round to be able to fence them by some way. Ray takes on Hoax and ZBDF takes on Logista. The 2 men, there's only 2 men surviving for GodParticles. That's gonna be really interesting to see how that pans out, losing those 2 members. But this was an expensive round coming out for the RAD Syndicate, because not only do they use that revive, which they could have, lose towards the later hound of the map, but there is a silver lining to it. They will be able to, still use that the operator and the phantom or the vandal that Ray had. Knight Rider though misses this first shot over here, but manages to get himself back and lands that shot. Beautiful run coming in for them. 8-11. GodParticles looking to secure map series point for them in this particular round.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that while was an expensive round, them saving those 2. And as you mentioned, like, Knight Rider getting that much information sets up the Brimstone on the side of GodParticles for a beautiful ultimate, just pushing them back into Knight Rider's line of sight, creating so much time for their team, ending up in that round time loss. Now, the drone will spot one out, but right here, it's everything for RAD Syndicate, because they have the Phantoms. They cannot afford to lose this round and go down to them. Logista gets 1, Hoax gets 1 with the ultimate, Ember gets the 3rd, 5 versus 2. If RAD loses round, they have the economy disadvantage going into the match point round for GodParticles. Shivi takes down another 5 versus 1. Are we looking at a flawless round as GodParticles just dominating on their map on the defensive side? From 7-5 to 8-11. It's 6-1 in the second half in the favor of GodParticles. Now, the Brimstone going for the ultimate flank as Deoxys finds 1, just 3 HP though. It will be an absolute miracle if he's able to clutch through 1 versus 4 with 3 HP. Is going for the peak right here. Will get spotted out by Ember. 12-8 to GodParticles. Match point, map point, series point to kick RAD Syndicate out of the LG Ultragear TEC Challengers series with an economy advantage.
Boy, this one's gonna be really important, because do you think we're gonna see any more rounds, or will we see this round coming out for GodParticles? Let's take a quick look at the replay. Hoax pops that ultimate, takes out 1 member. And the rest of the round just followed suit, just trades coming through. Look at the Phenomenally not in the best shape, because we see 1 member with Phantom, Light Armor, ZBDF, and we see like the Spectre and Full Armor coming in, not the Phantom. They are looking for this Hail Mary A push. Logista is in the perfect position to stop this. He gets it out by Paradox. Then it's a Knight Rider though, and Hoax, they're gonna clean it up. ZBDF, last man standing, he gets taken down. GodParticles 2-0 the RAD Syndicate in this lower bracket, eliminating them from this tournament.
I mean, I have goosebumps. This is absolutely huge by God Particles to play this so well and not just win the series but win it 2-0. Once again, Ember with the MVP spot, Knight Rider not too far behind, but Ember with a significant lead over anybody else in the game, proving why he deserves the MVP spot. Brilliant game and series by God Particles, just carrying forward the momentum from game 1 to just sort of liven them. And just like that, we will cue into the AMD moment. We will look at the AMD moment because I believe we all want to relive that match given how close that series was. But actually, what are your thoughts? Because I know you're just as in shock as I am about how this entire series panned out.
Oh boy, that was a bang of a series. I don't think anyone expected GodParticles to win the whole series, win Ascent, let alone the whole series. But they're able to prove us wrong. Beautiful round coming in from both the teams. Logista holds his ground, gets one, and Hoax and Shivi in the end just clean up the whole. Hoax United just managed to secure the rest of the round for his teammates. 2-0, RAD Syndicate ending the run in the tournament. Not something we must have expected coming into this tournament because we definitely, did predict them to win this, not win this tournament. They have a deeper run. Given the fact that they went against the best teams, they went against Velocity Gaming where they won 2-0, where they lost 2-0, excuse me. So we did expect a better, game coming from them, but not this time around. GodParticles sticking true to their name, showing why they are the real gods of this game. And they will be taking themselves to the next round, eliminating RAD Syndicate from this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful from God Particles. I mean, that's the thing, right? Once they pulled back on the home map of RAD Syndicate so well and actually managed to win that right through, it's just a matter of winning your home map. But in this map specifically, the way they're able to just hold on to the defensive side, we did mention that we really want to see RAD Syndicate go towards their attacking side with at least a small lead. They are able to pull that through with 7-5. But God Particles just proving that they have more stamina than RAD Syndicate in both the maps. They're able to just clutch through in the second half of the game from 7-5 to about 13-8, losing one round. Beautiful plays by God Particles and a team you have to fear now because they are suddenly the dark horses to just take it all up, maybe even give the best team Velocity a run for their money. God Particles, we're certainly looking at you. Very well played. But guys, since that was a 2-0, RAD Syndicate will be out of the LG Ultra Gear TEC Challenger Series with God Particles moving forward. Now, we will be back for another series for you at 8 p.m. But up to then, if you want to join in on the action, because I know you do after that series, make sure you register with your friends. Link down in the description below. If you want to stay up to date with all our streams for esports content, drop a like, share it with your friends. Make sure to subscribe with the notification bells on so you get constant updates. But as we go off and set up for the second series of the day, we're going to be going off. Remember, you can do some shopping for the headsets that myself and Rex Streams are wearing. 10% discount code down in the description below provided by JBL. But that's going to be all. We're going to take in the fact that God Particles pulled this through 2-0 in a dominating fashion, one could say. Very well played to both teams. I'm sure we'll see them later, but that's it for now. See you soon.
I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Let's make the most of this night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't want to do. Baby, while we're young, I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Let's make the most of this night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't want to do. Baby, while we're young, baby, while we're I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Let's make the most of this night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't want to do.